let's dive into the important stuff. So whether you're an existing HubSpot customer or not, everything I show you today can be adopted either as a standalone CMS or as part of the wider HubSpot ecosystem. So there's loads of value in this for everybody. Content Hub is an all-in-one, this is off their website by the way, so I'm gonna have to read this, AI-powered content marketing platform that helps marketers create and manage content, whether that be your main website, a microsite, or landing pages to a specific campaign. It includes AI-powered content generation, lead capture tools, a scalable CMS, A/B testing, SEO recommendations. This list goes on and on, so I'm not going to finish it. But it's all powered by this platform that enables things that you just could not achieve on CMSs that aren't built on top of such a powerful CRM. And the whole upshot of this is that you can make remarkable experiences for your customers. So let's have a look. So to simplify that little description, what we're talking about is a CMS or a content management system, a platform where you can host your website. But it's absolutely packed with AI features. So let's start there. So where within HubSpot have they built AI? The answer is kind of everywhere, quite literally. You can produce content, and anywhere that you can do that, AI is a click away for ideation, creation, enhancement. In this short talk, I'm going to go across 3 different areas. So we're going to talk about Content Remix, which is a powerful omni-channel campaign creation tool. We're going to talk about AI Blog Writer, which is an AI-powered flow for creating optimized and structured blogs. And we're going to talk about Copilot and Content Agent, which is an awful lot of features that I'm mashing into one point here. But it's this ever-present assistant. So wherever you are, you're going to be more efficient, more productive, and it's across the entire portal. So let's start with Content Remix. So Content Remix allows you to create omni-channel campaigns from a single click, including landing pages, blogs, emails, social ads, the works. And it's content that is customized for your templates. So this isn't generic content. This is content designed to fit your layout. So if you've got an accordion section, it will take that into account and it will fill that out for you. If you've got 2 columns with images and text, it can do that as well. It's really, really smart. And when you're using the tool, you can just choose from those templates. So if you're running a campaign where you've got kind of a landing page where you need really good conversion and another landing page with deep dive, people, when they're in that consideration phase, you need to have better deep dive content. That's fine, just select 2 different landing pages, select 2 different templates and click go. Really, really simple. We've got multimedia generation, so it's not just written content, as we will see, images, audio transcripts, the lot. And it's all built on an intuitive drag and drop interface. Why is that important? Well, you don't need developers, you don't need AI experts, and your team don't have to learn new tools. This is something that's designed for marketers and content creators to be able to use as part of their daily workflows. And finally, as we'll see in a moment, it's the use of prompts and existing content. So the interface, it lets you bring together content that you already have, including blogs, web pages, external URLs, PDFs, images, and feed them into the AI so that it's got that depth of knowledge of a subject matter expert, which is something that I think a lot of AI tools sometimes struggle with, because you put in these brief prompts and you expect magic to come back out. So, should we see it in action? Now, I will caveat this, that I didn't want to go too crazy on live demos because they always go wrong. So, this is going to be a semi-live demo. What I've done is I've pre-recorded each of the live demos for the video bit, and then I'm going to talk through it. Partly because I've condensed some of these processes. Okay, so what you're going to see still took less than 5 or 10 minutes, but it was just a little too long for me to go through today. Let's go. So, this is what I'm going to be feeding into the AI. I've got some PDFs, a blog post, external URL. Click the plus at the bottom, and I've now got down the left all the different options that I could use. So we're going to do an ad, blog post, image, landing page, and an email. I've pre-put in the prompts because I didn't think you'd want to see me typing those out, but you can see they're not particularly long prompts. And now for full transparency, this bit you're seeing in double time. So you're going to watch 18 seconds of some loading bars, but this really took 36 seconds, which I think we could probably all agree is pretty good for producing 5 bits of content. Anyway, I think that's probably going to be about done. Lovely. So let's have a look at what it's produced. So we've got an image. This is something I prompted it to come up with a little tech stack image. But I think if we look at the landing page, and I can click through to the actual editor of the landing page within HubSpot, you get an idea for what it's capable of. So everything on here has been produced by the AI in that time frame, that 36 seconds, and it's populated out our template. So you can see here we've got these 3 columns, and it's pulled out those streamlined workflows, AI-powered insights, unified team collaboration, and the content's really good. So break down silos between sales, marketing, and operations. Our customized workflows ensure every department works in harmony, maximizing productivity and promoting long-term success. That, based on the content that I fed into it, is just really spot on in terms of the tone and what it's pulled out as those highlight points to put into those 3 columns. And again, if you look at the next module, we've got 8 different call-outs here, so quite a complicated structure. But again, it's done it really well. It's pulled out really important things: low-code automation, enhanced collaboration, scalable solutions, adapt and grow with flexible modular integrations. It's fully understood the content that I fed it, and it's brought that through into this template in a way that is very, very human, which is in some ways maybe slightly scary, but it's very impressive that it understands the context of quite a niche subject. And as we come down the page, you'll see, I think you'll all agree, it's a good-looking page, but it's worth saying that this is the starting point. This is now where your team are going to build on what has been built. And as I pointed out at the beginning, so we've got an accordion section at the bottom, and it's pulled out really pertinent questions and answered them as well, based on the content that it was fed. So this is the power of what Content Remix can do. We've also got an email, so same thing. Created the images, it's pulled that content through, and it's filled it to the structure of that email. Again, this is all within that 36-second window. And then finally, if we just take a little look at a blog post, same thing again, and I think again we have some multiple finger action going on in that picture. It's enriched that with lots of lovely content. And all of that took just 36 seconds to produce, with a handful of prompts, granted, and it was fed with some good content. But what's more, if you look at the bottom of the screen here, there's a plus symbol under every one of those points, which means you can continue to build on this, continue to expand it. So you can see that your content creators, your marketers, they could be creating these omni-channel campaigns really rapidly. And if you've got in-house subject matter experts who are time poor and just don't have the capacity to be writing long-form content, you can feed into this audio, transcripts, video, images, and from that, your wider team can be producing these amazing omni-channel campaigns. So imagine from now on, maybe your process is you have a team brainstorm, and the transcript from that and the ideation that comes from that feeds into a tool like this. And now instead of starting from handwritten notes, as Tim is famously good at providing to the team, they're starting from this. They're starting with this skeleton of an omni-channel campaign. So we think it's amazing. We think it's a game changer when it comes to efficiency, productivity, and utilizing your existing resource. So AI blog writer, so create structured prompts for better content. So as you'll see in the next demo, the process that HubSpot have created for this particular AI tool includes the ability to go beyond just giving the AI a prompt, but instead you have the ability to design this structure for the content before it's created, exactly as if you were briefing a colleague or providing an abstract. You can let AI do the hard work for you and generate title ideas, including search volume data built into the platform, which is rather nice. Similar to what we just saw with Content Remix, you can use existing blogs or documents and feed that in, so you've got that expert knowledge being given to the AI and it can pull on that knowledge. And importantly, you've got complete control. So your content creators, for the whole length of the process, have got the ability from start to finish to control how that output comes out, so it's highly personalized to your business. Want to see this one? Same thing as before. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so we're going to start by clicking Start with AI. And essentially, we have this interface where we've got a prompt, the ability to add target keyword, a market, and an industry. I've cut through some of that just to speed things up a little bit, but all pretty basic so far. Once we're happy with everything we've got there, we click Going Through. And the first thing it's going to do, it's going to give me some titles with monthly search volume, the difficulties rank, and the keyword intents. So you can see I've got 3 options. I can generate more, but this top one looks pretty good to me, the step-by-step guide to internal audit processes. So I'm going to add those on, and now this is where I can do as before. I can go in and say, actually, I've got a blog post that I think is really relevant, so let's add that one in. And do you know what? I'm going to feed it a PDF as well that we used on that content remix, just to give it lots and lots of good insights and knowledge to pull from. So if we click next, so now the AI is going to bring to me a structure, okay? So instead of it now going, fantastic, let's write your blog, it's going to give me subheadings split out, as you can see, as sections within the piece. Within those sections, I can add subpoints if I want to, so I can manually add talking points of things I want it to cover. I can move those sections around, or if I want to, I can manually add a section at the bottom. Any of these are manually editable, so I can go in and change them, or I can just click the refresh and the AI will give me a new topic. At the top, I've got the description for the blog, which is essentially the prompt for the overall piece, and then underneath also a prompt for the included image. But once I'm happy with all that, I click generate. Now, interestingly, on this one, I decided not to speed the process up because I thought it'd be good for you guys to see the actual real time of how quickly it produces the blog with all that structure that I've given it. And as we said, this is similar to when you would give an abstract to a colleague, but I'm pretty sure your colleague can't do it that fast. So you can see image, fingers maybe, a couple of extra ones, and then all those subheadings with all the content in between. So it's pretty impressive. And again, it's the same technology we just saw used on Content Remix, but this structured approach is just so much more similar to what we're used to seeing and how we work with our colleagues. Okay, so let's talk about how AI is baked in across the rest of Content Hub. So we've got Copilot, which is essentially a chat interface, and we've also got Content Agent. But we're going to talk specifically on AI-generated podcasts, case studies built using your CRM data, which is really, really cool, and Content Assistant and brand voice throughout the platform. So let's start with podcasts. So what is this? This is essentially the ability to create podcasts in minutes, not hours. It's available as part of the output of Content Remix that we just saw, so it's one of the nodes you can choose. You can choose different or even multiple voices to perform your podcast, and you can publish your podcast directly from HubSpot. It follows the exact same process we just saw with the AI blog writer, but this time the output was in the form of an 18-minute spoken podcast. I won't make you listen to the whole thing.
Welcome to another
but here's a short excerpt
of AI for Marketers, where we dive into the cutting-edge world of marketing technology to help you stay ahead in the digital age. Today, we're exploring the realm.
You don't have to have an American voice, by the way. This was just the default out-of-the-box voice.
Seamless, efficient, and successful endeavors.
But it's pretty powerful. And again, it's that same process. You give it the structure, it gives you the ability to manually change how that sounds, and then you just click create and publish. You've created a podcast. Pretty impressive. Case studies. So I think case studies are one of those things that marketers often struggle to actually get around to. We certainly do. We're always so busy doing the work. You have to remember to go back and get those case studies. That process of gathering data, bring it all together, it can be quite overwhelming. So this is where the power of having HubSpot come in and create that content that you can help then convince your prospects is so powerful. So we're going to create case studies based on the data within your CRM. So it literally asks you which company you want to be producing a case study on. Same as before, we can feed it documents that it can then use, but it will then go and get the interactions you've had with that client and pull that information through into your case studies. Pretty nuts. And as before, documents, existing templates, target keywords, built in minutes, not hours. So it's pretty impressive. And it's a very similar flow, so I'm not going to show that one to you now, but it's basically the same flow that we went through with those landing pages. So let's talk about this ever-present AI. So the idea here is wherever you're producing content, you've got this ability to call on Copilot. So we've got ideation, we've got creation, we've got enhancements, wherever you're working in the portal. You can apply your brand voice. I love this one. So again, wherever you're creating content, you can create a brand tone of voice by training the AI based on your existing content to understand exactly what your business tone is, what your voice is, and then it will rewrite based on that tone. It's a chat interface, so it's great for natural interactions. Your team aren't having to learn new tools. You can just talk to it, and it's seamlessly integrated with your daily workflows. So there's no more moving between tabs, copying and pasting from ChatGPT into Claude and back. Your team can just stay working in the same tab and have access to all of these features. let's have a look at it in action. So, starting from that blog that we just created, I'm going to select a paragraph, click refine, and I get a context menu where I can apply my brand identity, so that's my brand voice. I can rewrite, I can expand, shorten, or I can change the tone. So for this particular piece, maybe I want to make it, I don't know, witty. So I click, out comes the little chat window, and I like this. Internal audits is your chance to untangle the mess and make sure every gadget and gizmo is playing nice with your business goals, fitting together like a well-oiled machine. Nice. Hit replace, and it's in. No copying, no pasting. Maybe this section down here, I like this, but I want to expand on it. So I'm going to click expand. Copilot just expands it for me. Now, obviously, I don't expect you guys to be quite so cavalier in just going, yep, that'll do, whack it in. But it gives you an idea of just how quickly you can actually go through and say, yeah, I need help with this. I need ideation. I need someone just to sanity check what I've got. So it's that concept that when the AI is built into the tools, it's just much, much easier to access. And finally, I just wanted to bring all of this together with how these features add up to provide a more personalized customer experience and help your website convert better, because ultimately that's what this is all about. It's not just about shiny gizmos making your marketers happy. So Content Hub is a smart CMS, and that is to say we can deliver dynamic content to your visitors across multiple channels. So it enables the use of smart content modules to display dynamic content. So you can use active lists in HubSpot, campaign parameters from social media or ad campaigns, device type, and so on. And we can change how the website appears for different segments of your audience. And it's hyper-personalized. So by including relevant messaging and imagery based on their industry, their seniority, or even like the number of times they've been to your site, we can actually use the data in your CRM to understand where your contacts are in their buying journey and then display messaging to match that. So it makes your website quite literally come to life. We're going to improve conversions on landing pages. So when content and messaging resonates with your visitors, they're way more likely to stay and engage with your content, giving you that opportunity to convert them. And importantly, we're going to make campaigns quicker. So your teams won't need to make multiple versions of pages. Instead, they can just personalize specific sections they want and publish one page. So when we combine all of that with the AI features we've discussed, your teams can now be producing campaigns faster, personalizing them in a way that is just not possible when you haven't got a CMS built on top of a powerful CRM. So what does that look like? So on screen, 2 examples of how content can dynamically be changed depending on the contact. So in this case, it's actually an email. And what we did was we triggered emails to context dynamically, and we changed the images, the call to action, the content. And we did that based purely on the date of the original inquiry form that they submitted. So we dynamically segmented the entire audience into seasons in this case, so that when they get these emails through, let's face it, if you're planning a winter wedding and you get lovely sunny pictures, it's not really going to resonate for you, is it? So the idea really being here that by doing such a simple thing, again, your team build one email with dynamic content, forms come in, date is captured, this is done. No one has to think about this. No one has to segment the data in the audience. It's just done for you. So in other words, that simple segment can be used across all of your channels, whether it's emails, whether it's web pages, whether it's pushing dynamic audiences out onto ad platforms. We can use this across all of your channels. So it's really, really powerful. So if we go back to where we started and ask, what is Content Hub? It's a CMS with AI built into every tool. It's an all-in-one platform for streamlining marketers' workflows. It is the only CMS built on top of a best-in-class CRM, and it is so much more. There's so much more, in fact, that we couldn't possibly talk about this and get through it all. We could probably do this for the rest of the session and still only scrape the surface. So if you want to see it more close up, if you want to get into the details, if you want a personalized run-through of the tools you've seen today and tools we haven't shown, then just get in touch between us and Max. We're happy to give you a personalized demo of this platform. We think it's really, really good, and we think it's an absolute game changer for any business. Anyway, thank you for your time. I will see you again. I'll be back up here, so hope you found that useful. In the meantime, as before, please feel free to book a meeting with us, or better still, come and chat to me afterwards. Thank you very much.